You know that moment when you realize not everyone's going to like you? And somehow that realization just doesn't sting anymore, but actually it feels liberating. That's what we're diving into today. Because for so many of us, especially those of us on a healing path, we spend years trying to be liked, to be accepted, to fit the mold. And so we shrink a little here, we soften an edge there, we water down our essence just to be digestible. Until one day, it's just exhausting. And that's when we begin the journey of remembering that being liked by everyone is not the goal. Being authentic is. So in today's episode, I'm talking about what it really means to be okay with not being everyone's cup of tea, and how that acceptance becomes one of the deepest forms of freedom. So let's dive in. Becoming a co-creator with the creator is your birthright. Together, we'll journey into your deepest authenticity. Because the more you align with who you truly are, the more effortlessly you call in the life that you desire and deserve. And most importantly, the more you step into your soul's highest purpose. Welcome to the Manifestation Method podcast, your number one source for Kabbalistic manifestation. Here we combine the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah, modern psychology, and quantum physics to help you achieve real, tangible manifestation results with my proven Abra method. I'm Ayelet Polonsky, and I'm here to guide you on your journey of manifesting a life that is aligned, expansive, and deeply connected to your highest self through the sacred energetic mechanics of Kabbalistic manifestation. To learn how to use Kabbalistic manifestation to transform your life from the inside out, go to ayeletpolonsky.com or download the Manifestation Method app. Let's open the gates of manifestation together. This topic was actually inspired by a recent experience that I had with someone who attended one of the monthly transformational gatherings that my husband and I co-facilitate together. Now, before anyone attends one of our in-person immersions, either my husband or I will hop on a Zoom call with the potential participant, right? Just to make sure the group is a good, energetic fit for everyone. So it's not really an interview. It's more about alignment. And we want to make sure that whoever enters the space will feel safe to open, and that they're ready to receive, and that the group itself remains cohesive and intentional. So anyways, I get on this call with this woman, and from the very beginning, I could sense her resistance towards me. It was nothing overt, and she wasn't rude by any means, but energetically, there was a wall. You know, she was polite, but her energy screamed, "I don't know about you." And I felt it. And that's okay, because not everyone needs to feel resonance right away. You know, thank God the people who end up coming to our containers always feel that they are meant to be there, right? And so we're not just building community here. We're building soul family. And when it's aligned, everyone feels it, and they feel grateful for being there. They want to be there. But sometimes there's that one person where both of us, me and them, can sense that maybe it's just not a fit. And that's okay, right? In those moments, I never push. I've come to a place where I've deeply learned to trust that whoever is meant to receive from me or from my husband will. And whoever isn't, they're meant to receive from someone else. And it's not personal. It's simply divine placement and alignment and resonance, right? Anyways, so at the end of our call, she says to me, I don't know if I feel connected to you. I don't really connect with the spiritual talk. And so I smiled and I said to her, that's totally fine. Sit with it, feel into it. Only you know what's right for you. I could sense she was still on the fence. She wasn't a clear no. She was just still on the fence about whether or not she wanted to come. And I wasn't a strong no. So I just said, I invited her to feel into it and to take her time and, get back to me if she feels it's right. No attachment, no pressure. Okay, a few days later, she emails me back and she says, I want to come. Okay, so we welcome her in. And wouldn't you know it, the 3-day gathering gave her exactly what she needed. By the end, she was glowing. She was flying. She felt safe. She felt seen. She felt understood. She had shared that she felt she had found a family that she didn't even know she was missing. But here's the twist. At the end of the weekend, before everyone left to go home, she comes up to me and she says, when I was deciding whether or not to come, I told my husband, how can I possibly join Ayelet's group if I really don't like that woman? And I'll admit, that caught me a little bit off guard, like I get not connecting to someone, like I really, really get that. But not liking someone after just one Zoom conversation, like really not liking them, I found that interesting, right? So I asked her, like not in a defensive way, but in a genuinely curious way, like what was it that made you not like me? And she responds with, you were just too spiritual, right? I need grounded people. The spirit world, the spiritual talk, all of that fluffy stuff, it's just not my thing. And then she smiled and she added, but after spending these 3 days with you, I actually realized you're both deeply spiritual and deeply grounded. And that's why I can even tell you what I felt about you in our first initial Zoom, because I don't feel that way about you anymore. She really got to see a part of me that is like both feminine, both masculine, hands in the clouds, feet on the ground, like anchored in self, which I would say is true. But here's the thing. I didn't need her reassurance. I didn't need her to tell me the reason I'm telling you this now is because like I felt her needing to like almost justify why she was being so transparent with me. Right. And the fact that I didn't need that reassurance from her was the most beautiful part of all of this for me. Right? Because I had this moment of checking in and I was like, wow, Ayelet, you're really able to receive that. You're able to receive the fact that someone just does not resonate with you. Someone doesn't click with you. And someone will go as far as to say, when I met you, I really didn't like you. Right? Because in the past, I probably would have twisted myself up in wondering, right? What did I do wrong? Was I too much? Should I tone it down? Was I too woo-woo? I'm laughing because it's like there's just this deep feeling in my soul of just like, wow, Ayelet, look how far you've come. And look how you are being and how much you love being you, even if some people think you're weird or bonkers. Right? And so like in that moment, when she shared that with me, I just smiled and I thought, oh, she's allowed to not like me. And I'm allowed to be at peace with that. And so that interaction reminded me of something so simple and so obvious, but so freeing, right? And that is like, of course not everyone's going to like me. How could they? There are billions of people on this planet, different backgrounds, tastes, personalities, religions, cultures, preferences, wounds, filters, values, timing. The list goes on and on. Trying to be liked by everyone is like trying to be the perfect flavor of ice cream for every single person in the world. It's impossible. And more than just impossible, more importantly, it's exhausting. Because if everyone likes me, it probably means I've contorted myself over and over and over again, morphing and shape-shifting to meet each person's expectations of me until there's nothing left of me, right? And if I'm constantly performing likability, then who am I really? Who am I really? And that realization freed up so much space in me, space to breathe and relax and to just be myself, fully, unapologetically, without needing to edit or filter. Because authenticity is magnetic and it's peaceful for everyone involved. And something that I've realized in just allowing myself to be more me, the people who maybe at first find me weird, right? As they start to soften towards me or around me, I become an amplifier for them. I show them the possibility in themselves that they didn't even know existed. And then they start to find maybe a little bit more of a spiritual edge in themselves. And they actually learn to love it and fall in love with themselves as a result. So in this way, we just get to be mirrors for each other, right? The people who once don't like you maybe can learn as you step more and more into your authenticity that there is something that you have as an offering for them that they didn't even know they wanted, right? And here's what I've learned through years of doing this work, and honestly, through actually being like misunderstood a lot. When someone doesn't like you or doesn't get you, your nervous system interprets it as danger. Because for most of us, rejection once meant disconnection. Hi, Ayelet here. I just wanted to pop in and say I am so excited to officially introduce the Manifestation Method portal, membership, and app. This is your home for all things Kabbalistic manifestation. You'll get access to my monthly live workshops, soul deep hypno activations and attunements, all of our manifestation courses, and our global community of manifestors. And the best part? It's just $26 a month. That's less than a latte a week. Come manifest alongside me and start creating the life you desire and deserve. Head over to ayeletpolonsky.com to join us. And disconnection once meant survival risk, right? My actual survival is at risk if I'm not connected to the other. So when someone dislikes us, or our body flinches, or our breath tightens, our brain starts spinning stories. But here's the deeper truth. That feeling isn't a signal that something's wrong with you. It's just a sign that your body is remembering an old fear. It's a sign that your body is remembering an old fear. Misunderstanding is not rejection. It's simply a mismatch of vibration, timing, or readiness. And that's okay. It's by design. Sometimes people meet you at the frequency they're not calibrated for yet. And so your authenticity actually confronts something in them that they haven't met in themselves. That's so deep. Like, please, please, please take that in. And let that like land in your system because it's so important, right? People, instead of trying to see you clearly, like through a clear channel of who you are, they're just projecting onto you. So the work isn't to convince them to see you correctly. It's to stay steady in your own signal, in your own strength, in your own authentic voice and expression, right? And when you feel misunderstood, drop into your body. That's the antidote to all of this, right? Notice where you feel the charge, the activation. Is it in your chest, your throat, your gut? And breathe into it. Remind yourself, I am safe even when I'm not seen. And for me, I even like to land even deeper and feel like God in my body, not God as something outside of me that I have to grasp and grab onto and try to like understand, but to feel the God that is in me, because there is a God in me and there is a God in you. And that God exists inside of us on a cellular level. In the deepest, deepest chamber of our hearts, God is there. And so when I'm feeling unsafe, when I'm feeling misunderstood, when I'm feeling rejected, if I'm able to first and foremost do the appropriate steps of not bypassing and actually acknowledge the protector parts, the parts of you that do feel sad, do feel hurt, because that's an important step, but ultimately to land in your heart to where the place in you that God lives, and to expand that feeling. Expand that feeling of I belong here. I belong here, and I remember who I am. I remember I am worthy. I remember I am loved. I remember I am unique. Right? That is nervous system mastery. That is emotional maturity. And that is what keeps your frequency clear. Okay? So let's also talk about something that lives underneath all of this, which is the good girl or good boy or the nice one archetype, right? These are all archetypes. And this is the part of us that was trained either subtly or directly to equate being liked with being safe, moral, or lovable. It's the child who learned that if I'm pleasant and agreeable, then I won't be abandoned. Or if I smile and I don't make waves, then I'll be loved. But here's the truth. The good girl isn't good. She's performing goodness. That's also a deep one to take in, to really internalize, right? The good girl, and I will say also the good boy, right, isn't actually good. She's performing goodness in these types of situations, at least. Ultimately, deep down, yes, we are all good, we are all pure, we are all light. Okay, but in these moments where where you're trying to be good in someone else's eyes, you're not actually being good, you're performing. And you're trying to earn belonging through compliance. And that performance becomes exhausting because it actually disconnects us from our authentic power, from our anger, from our boundaries, from our wildness, from our truth. And in Kabbalistic language, this is the imbalance of chesed, which is too much giving, and not enough gevura, which is the sacred boundary that protects love from distortion. And so when you stop trying to be the good girl and start becoming the whole woman, something miraculous happens. Your yes becomes real. Your no becomes clear. And your energy stops leaking into people pleasing and starts rooting into presence. And the same goes for men, right? The nice guy archetype runs the same type of program. It tends to say, if I'm easygoing and non-confrontational, maybe I'll be accepted, right? But beneath that, there's often resentment, suppression, and a deep longing to be seen as is. So wholeness means you get to be both kind and clear, loving and boundaried, compassionate and real, right? That's Kabbalistic mastery at its finest. It's not an act of rebellion, it's an act of integrity, right? Because authenticity is not about rebellion. It's not saying, I don't care what anyone thinks of me, because at the end of the day, yeah, we do. And we should to a degree, right? We want to belong. We want to connect. We want to be part of something bigger than ourselves. So, when we walk through the world saying, I don't care what people think about me, that's still reactionary, right? That's still performing against something. And so real authenticity is like, it's energy hygiene. It's the resonance that happens when your inner world and your outer expression finally match. When your words, your body language, your choices, and your energy are all playing the same note. And so it's not about being loud. It's about being true. And that truth has a vibration. People can feel it. When you are authentic, your presence does the communicating for you. You don't need to defend, convince, prove. Your energy speaks. And yes, some people will be magnetized by it and some people will be repelled. That's how frequency works. Some people can walk into a yoga studio and feel so zen, so at peace, so at ease. And some people, they walk into a yoga studio and they're just like, what the heck am I doing here? This is weird. Everyone's doing weird poses. The music is off. It's moving too slow for me. Why are they talking like that? Right? So it's like, you don't have to be the cup of tea for everyone. Your job isn't to turn down your signal. It's to trust that those who are meant to be in tune will find you effortlessly. So authenticity isn't a style. It's a nervous system state. When your body feels safe to be seen as you are, you naturally become radiant. No performance required. Right? In fact, a few months ago, one of my coaching clients, she told me something that really stuck with me. She said, I wish, Ayelet, that I had the courage to wear big hats like you do, right? To dress so expressively like you do. And I laughed thinking that her comment was about style, but then she went on. She said, no, really, it's not about the hats. It's about how you carry yourself. You wear these expressive, bold clothes and you don't seem to care what anyone thinks. And I wish I could do that. And she wasn't talking about fashion. She was talking about freedom. That conversation cracked me open a little bit. And actually, it broke my heart a little bit because I really saw myself in her. Right? I used to be the woman constantly measuring myself through the eyes of others. Right? Will they think this is too much? Will they take me seriously? Will I gain their admiration, their respect, their likability? Will they think I'm too spiritual, too loud, too emotional, too sensitive? Right? It actually makes me emotional even talking about it, because the more I healed, the more I returned to my natural expression. The way I move, speak, dress, create, love, connect, the way I do all of it is coming from a deeper place in me. A place of real honoring of my divine fingerprint, my divine expression. And that self-expression began giving others permission to do the same. And so that same client has told me, recently she said that she's started wearing what she really wants, including big hats, and that she feels more vibrant. She feels more creative. She feels more alive. And not because she's copying anyone else. No, not at all. It's because she stopped hiding herself. That's what happens when we release the need to be universally liked. We become universally free. And here's the truth that I want you to take away from this episode. When you stop trying to be liked by everyone, you finally start being loved by the right ones. You make space for aligned relationships, aligned opportunities, aligned community. Sorry, not sorry. When you stop trying to be liked by everyone, you stop chasing belonging and you start attracting real resonance, attracting people who are meant to be in your life, who are meant to vibe with you. And for the people who don't vibe with you, okay, they're not your rejection. They're your redirection. They free you up to focus on those who do see you, who get you, who celebrate you, not just those who tolerate you. That's so profound. It is so profound. So wherever you are right now, maybe take a deep breath in with me because this is a lot. Important, but a lot. So let's breathe it all in. And deep exhale out. Let go of the subtle pressure to be universally liked. You don't need to manage perception. You don't need to explain your essence. You don't need to apologize for being exactly who you already are. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be lit up. You're here to live your truth so vividly that it gives others permission to remember theirs. The right people will find you. They will feel it. The others won't. And that is more than okay. That's by divine design. So thank you so much for tuning in. If this episode spoke to you, if you felt that sense of, I feel so seen by this episode. I get it. And this makes so much sense. Then that means there's someone else who maybe you know who it'll make sense for them too, and they really need to hear it. So please pay it forward. And remember, your authenticity is your frequency. You are not for everyone, but you are absolutely perfectly and powerfully for someone. And that someone starts with you. Until next time, stay true, stay grounded, and stay you. Here's to your rising. If you enjoyed this episode, let's keep the conversation going inside the Manifestation Method Portal app, your #1 destination for Kabbalistic manifestation. Inside, you'll unlock the secrets of manifestation through my proven Abra method, rooted in Kabbalah, psychology, and quantum physics, designed to help you manifest real, tangible results from the inside out. Join our global community of manifestors, explore our signature courses, monthly live manifestation workshops with me, Ayelet, and access our transformational hypno activations and attunements to rewire limiting beliefs and align with your soul's purpose. The app is available now on the Apple App Store and Google Play. To sign up, head over to ayeletpolonsky.com. Becoming a co-creator with the Creator is your birthright. Let's manifest the life you desire and deserve together.